Hi. Well, I hope that you're staying healthy. And for myself right now, I'm noticing it's a challenge to stay centered. So I'm putting together just a short little, pretty simple practice, hopefully to bring just some awareness back into the body and bring some mindfulness to the sensations going on in the body, and just in that really, really simple, almost too easy to believe kind of way, um, get like a reset going for us. So grab a mat. If you've got a blanket or a bolster that you think you might want to use, grab that as well. We'll start in a kneeling position and kind of move into a little bit more vinyasa-like practices and shapes from there. But just to start, go ahead and come into a kneeling position. I'm going to do it sideways so that you can see. I'm actually going to tuck my toes and come into what we call toes pose to start, just to bring extra awareness into the body. If you absolutely cannot tolerate this shape, then just come out to the tops of your feet. Otherwise, reach back and tuck your little pinky toes underneath and sit back. Sit up tall here. Reach your arms up over your head as you take a big breath in. And then draw your hands to your heart center on your exhale. Set your eyes toward your fingertips. We'll do two more. Full breath in as you reach up and around, kind of like you're gathering energy, and then draw it right into your heart center. There's still a lot of awareness in your feet. One more. Inhale as you stretch all the way up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Let your eyes close. Take a moment to relax through the sides of your neck. And notice what you feel in your body here. And the most obvious place, if you're in toes pose, is probably the soles of your feet. And then just breathe into that sense of spaciousness and notice where you feel the stretch in your feet. And let that be really an anchor for your mind and for your focus. Take a couple more, just working on slowing your breath here, a couple more deep breaths. And then you're going to interlace your fingers. Go ahead and do it that awkward way so it'll feel a little bit weird. It's the pinky that's not usually on the bottom there. Flip your palms, open your eyes as you reach your arms up toward the ceiling. Find a big stretch through the side body. Keep bringing some heaviness into your hips. And then keep all of that heaviness, especially through the hip. For me, it's going to be the left, but you can go either way. Just take a side bend, finding the stretch in your side body, anything that feels spacious. Just send some awareness there. And find the space between each one of the ribs and maybe around the underarm and the side of your waist. Stay in the side bend, couple more deep breaths to release the bottom hand down. You can tent the fingers or even walk the hand back behind your back for a little half bind. You might catch a foot, kind of use that foot as some leverage to drive that bottom shoulder down your back more. Hips stay heavy, interlace your fingers, press the palms toward the ceiling again here, but start to round your back. So I'm going to round the back, flexing the spine, press the back as far back as you can, and then tuck your chin as tight into your chest as you can get it. So there's a big stretch through the back of your neck. And reach your arms up once more, coming through the center as you breathe in. And then you'll take that side bend, actually keep the hands interlaced, yeah, keep the side bend as you take it to the other direction, anchoring evenly through both of your hips. You keep working to slow your breath and keep working to notice all of the little tiny sensations in your body as well as the more obvious ones. Release the bottom hand down. Keep working into the side body, long through your neck. It might feel good even to nod your head a little bit. You can keep the fingers down or reach for a heel or your low back. Nice, come back through the center. Reach up as you breathe in, and then release your hands out in front of you. Untuck the toes. You can let the feet stay still for a moment and just feel into that. It feels almost like a sparkly energy to me in my body. Or you can pat out the feet a little bit, let it go. And sit back onto your heels so the toes are pointed back behind you. Bring your fingers back behind you, lift the chest a little bit, and then lean back. Bend your elbows. I'm finding some balance on my fingertips, maybe even pausing for a second there. But just really work into the fronts of your ankles and the tops of your feet, and then maybe the bottom of your shins. Kind of nice. Walk the hands forward. Work your way into a tabletop position from here with your wrists under your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Flip your left palm around so the fingers are pointed back towards your body. As you inhale, lift your tail and your chin and look up for a cow variation. And then reverse your hand on your exhale, coming into a cat. Handy, he's right here, this is Milo. Arch your spine toward the ceiling and look towards your navel. Take the other hand and turn it around as you inhale for another cow stretch. You may even wag your tail a little bit here. And then reverse claw into your fingers as you find another cat pose. One more cow. This time give your head a really gentle nod side to side. And then tuck your toes under. You're gonna find downward facing dog, pressing your hips way, way back. And stay here for a few breaths. You can keep the legs straight and just shift the hips side to side. Finding some space in the obliques and the side body. The animals in my house are really into assisting almost every yoga practice that I've ever done. If you are as lucky to have pets, I hope that they are great assistants. We'll see about him today, how this plays out. Go ahead and lift up onto your tiptoes. Take a breath in, maybe climb up all the way up onto the big toes. And then as you exhale, press with your hands, send the soles of your feet back and down. You might lift your toes if you need more of a stretch. Come up onto your tiptoes, breathe in, and then rock back. It doesn't matter if your heels touch or not, just work into the stretch. Once more, inhale all the way up onto the tiptoes. Exhale, press back, strong through your arms as you keep lifting your hips high. Pick up your right leg, point the right toes as you stretch the leg out, and then bend your knee, roll open across that side of your body. Choose if you want to stay here and just stay still in that stretch. Feel into where you find the spaciousness in your body, or if you want to bring a little bit of movement in, circling out the knee, the ankle, maybe even curling the toes. Re-extend your right leg way high behind you on your inhale. And then step your right hand outside of your right pinky finger. Drop the left knee to the mat. And then bring your forearms down as well. This tail's kind of, there we go. Forearms down to the mat as well. And take a moment here. There's a tendency to drop your head. See if you can check in with your heart space and just find a little bit of a lift. Some openness. Maybe like a smooth quality. Even in those kind of intense pockets of sensations, you just bring this smooth energy of your own awareness. And come back onto your palms. Tuck the back set of toes under. You'll lift the left knee up. Walk your right foot, toe heel it right toward the center of your mat. Pull the chest forward. I'm going to tent up onto my fingertips. Hug the navel toward the low back and then squeeze the inner thighs in toward one another. Reach your right arm up and open. And take a moment here to just shift the weight back and forth a little bit. Feeling into the soles of your feet, feeling into the calves, especially that back calf. Keep lengthening out through your spine, so long through your back body, all the way through the neck. Take a big breath in as you look up and spin open. On your exhale, plant your hands. Step your right foot back, drop the right knee down, and then take a little chaturanga variation with that right knee down. Flip onto both of your legs and the tops of your feet as you come up into a cobra variation. Press through your feet. We're going to use the hands here but keep the elbows bent so that the shoulders drop down. So instead of coming up and having the shoulders hunch, bend the elbows, open up across your collarbones and breathe. Take it back into child's pose, sending your hips to your heels. Right away, walk your hands over toward the right, take a breath in. And then over toward the left, feeling into that side body once again. Come into a cow stretch, so you're back on your hands and your knees, and you look up on the inhale. And then down dog on your exhale. This time the left foot lifts high, the left leg is long, and then bend your knee, find some opening across the side of your body. Keep pressing with your hands, so keep using the strength of your arms and even your back and your core to lift the hips, to lift the left knee. Again, move around if you want, stay still if that helps you stay more plugged in. Re-extend left leg long on an inhale and then step outside of your left hand. It's a big step. Drop the right knee, forearms down to the mat, or maybe you have like a block or a blanket. Probably a block might be a little bit less ideal here, but something soft like a couch cushion can bring a little bit more range of motion, make it a little bit more accessible, and at the same time, there's a softness to it. So there's this awareness that it's self-care that we're after here. There's no intention to be in any way like harmful within the body. It's all just about pouring awareness into different sensations, different parts. Notice what's going on across the chest. Breathe into your heart space. Setting up for that low twist. Walk back onto the palms. The right hand's going to stay down, but you'll toe heel your left foot more toward the middle. So you can stack the left ankle and the left knee. Tuck the right set of toes under. Lift your back knee first. Squeeze the inner thighs toward one another. So you're hugging in, finding strength, and then spinning up and open. Chest expands, neck is long. You can look down, you can look like in the same direction as your sternum, or you can look up at your top hand. Rock it out a little bit forward and backward just a couple times. You feel where you can bring some more steadiness and some more stability. Feel where there's any sense of gripping or strain, and see if you can soften around those places, and then find a still spot. You start to train the body and the mind to be in this still space. Those of you that need more, you float the bottom fingers as you breathe in, and then the top hand floats down. Step the left foot back, drop the left knee. Press with your palms. Keep the heart open as you lower halfway down so you're in your chaturanga. Tops of your feet, take your cobra stretch or your upward facing dog. And then child's pose, set the knees down, press the hips way back. Stay in your child's pose, take a full breath cycle in. You can relax the shoulders a little bit more, do it on your breath out. Walk the fingertips to the left, breathe into your side stretch. And then walk them to the right as you exhale. Back into cow pose, inhale, tail and chin lift. Tuck your toes and take it to downward facing dog. Right leg will lift high, take a breath in. And then step right between your thumbs on your exhale. It's a big step. Pick up your right arm, breathe in here. And then bring the right forearm to the right thigh. Spin the back heel flat on the mat. Press into your feet. So you plug into the legs and then reach the left arm up and open. Keep rooting down through the knife edge of your back foot as you stretch the left arm forward. So the left bicep is right over your left ear. Heart is open. Breath is smooth. And stay here, or you can take your left hand to your left hip, or your left hand behind your back towards your right thigh. Either way, deepen the lunge, so work the right thigh toward parallel with the mat. Lots of strength in the legs here. We're gonna come up into sky archer. You'll straighten out the right leg, Reach the right arm up and open for an inhale. And then reach the right fingertips as far forward in front of you as you can. Float the right hand down right in front of your right ankle as you lift the left arm up for a triangle pose. Feel the soles of your feet rooting down and plugged into your mat. Feel the strength and energy coming up the inner seams of your legs. And then lengthening out through both sides of your body. So instead of flexing the spine here, you're lengthening and almost extending into just a hint of a back bend. Big challenge, so all of your energy, all of your focus comes here as you bring your navel toward your low back. Both of your arms are gonna reach long out in front of you. Root through your back foot, hug in through your core, and twist your chest toward the ceiling as you take a big breath in. Stretch through your fingertips, hands to the mat on your exhale. Step back and flow through your vinyasa here. Inhale into cobra or up dog, press through the feet. Downward facing dog, use your hands to lift your hips. Left side goes long as you breathe in. Step between the thumbs, big step on your exhale. Float the top arm up and open into your stretch. And then you're gonna find extended side angle on this side, spinning your back heel down, bringing the left hand to the left foot or the left forearm to the left thigh, and reaching the arm up and then stretching it. So right wrist away from your right ankle as much as you possibly can. Stay there, or bring your hand to your hip or to the left thigh. But do that little self-adjustment so that front thigh is deep, deep, deep in a lunge. Come up into a sky archer. You straighten out the front leg. Keep the side body long as you bring the left hand down. Reach the right arm up for your triangle pose. Steady the breath and steady your body. Notice if there's any place where you can bring more spaciousness. Maybe it's a heel even, or the wrist of your bottom hand. Top arm stretches forward, navel to the low back, strong in your legs. Reach the bottom arm forward as well and breathe. All the way through your fingertips, get longer. Plant your hands, step back, and flow through your vinyasa. Inhaling into a back bend here, and then just release down onto your belly and your chest. You make a little pillow with your forearms for your forehead, or just release the head to one side and let the eyes close for a moment. Take a couple of really big breaths into your upper back and your belly. And then turn your head to the other direction. And come through the center. Wiggle out the hips a little bit side to side. Find a little space there, especially if anything got tight while we were doing that static triangle hold, that core strengthening. Interlace your hands at your lower back. Lift the chest. The chin is in line with your sternum. And then you just look forward, setting your eyes, your drishti, your focus to one point right in front of you. For me, it's just a little spot on the synthetic leather of our couch here that's in front of me. But pick one spot and just set your eyes softly to that point. 3 deep breaths. And let the breath be like a wave. 2 more. Through the whole body. A little bit higher on your last inhale without straining, that's the key. And then the fingers come down as you exhale. Drop your forehead straight down. Keep the forehead down, a little different here. Upper back stretch. Float the arms out to your sides like you're creating a W shape with your arms, and then pull the elbows toward each other. Keep lifting the arms and the elbows. Arm bones and elbows lift up. Elbows squeeze together. Then lift your head, your neck, your chin. Lift high as you breathe in. Float the hands down, child's pose on your breath out. Hold this child's pose for a few deep breaths. Bring some awareness into your fingertips and your toes. Breathing awareness into all of the spots where your body's connected to the surface beneath you. So just really feeling into that stillness and that steadiness and kind of soaking it up into your body. And take your time to work your way up back to your knees. This time standing on the knees instead of in that toes pose. We're just gonna come right up onto the knees. We'll set up in a half camel, but bring one hand to your heart center and one hand to your low back. So we'll do each side, but pause and just work with this arm variation, this hand variation to start. Press the hips forward a little bit and scoop the tailbone. So the low belly is lifting up, like you're trying to pull your navel up deep underneath your ribs. And then start to take it back a little bit at a time. Notice that place in your body where, or that version, that depth of the stretch where you start to feel some resistance, or where maybe there's a clenching up in a way that's not exactly about strength, but more about just survival. When that happens, back off and then reapproach. If you can keep the chest open, keep breathing right into the center of your lungs, right in that space where the ribs knit together. Breathe in, and then go ahead and come back up, sitting down onto your heels, long neutral spine. Drop the hands to the lap. Just breathe, observe. Let the breath slow down and notice what you feel in your body and where you feel it. You could blink the eyes open. We'll take that stretch on the other side. So just reverse the hand placement, making that contact with heart center, Anahata chakra, just as a reminder to really lead from that place, or to at least involve your heart in the choices, in the actions that you take, even in the thoughts that you allow yourself to be really, really invested in. So anything that's not coming from the heart space, at least a little bit, whatever you can do, shift the focus. Deep breaths as you start to take it back, pressing the hips forward, bring the chest upward, maybe opening up the throat if that feels good, like stretching the chin away from your chest. And one more inhale. And seiza, sit back onto your heels, let your eyes close, let your hands fall into your lap, and breathe. Your eyes open, walk your arms out in front of you, back into your tabletop position. From here, you're going to steer the right toes out off of the mat. So you're creating a tripod. Left leg stretches out long, reach your left arm up and open. You stay here, or if you want, you can extend the bottom leg as well. I'll cross that ankle over the bottom ankle. Kind of use that leg to lift. A little bit of core work, stretch up and open as you breathe in. And then it's kind of a big, big twist. Round the back a little bit and pull your navel in. I'm gonna try and rock forward. Yeah, there it is. Inhale, stretch all the way up and open. We'll do 2 of those. Exhale, scoop underneath your body. One more time. Breathe in as you reach up, up, up. And then exhale, come back to your hands and your knees. Wave that out a little bit. You might get a good snap, crackle, pop. If you do, it's a bonus. Just roll with it. If your body doesn't make those sounds, there's nothing wrong. If your body does make those sounds, nothing wrong. Back toes turn out. Take a stretch on the other side. You maybe have another assistant here. Hey, Sasha, what you doing? Stay. You can work in this variation and do that same action. I'll do that on this side, but otherwise you would cross the bottom ankle over the back. Inhale as you stretch up. It's a long exhale. Round the back and scoop under as you pull your belly in. Inhale, stretch up and open. You could even look up. Twice more. Round the back, pull the navel in. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, curl it in. Low, hold it low, hold it low. And then come back to your hands and your knees. Now sit back onto your heels. Sweep your legs out in front of you. So you're gonna close with a couple forward folds here. I am covered in cat hair. Covered in cat hair. Bring the soles of your feet together. And then lift your chest. Again, bringing some awareness back into the heart space. If it helps you, I'm finding it incredibly helpful to actually go ahead and touch in with the hand just to make contact to that heart space, just as a reminder, as an invitation to bring awareness there. Catch the ankles, pull the chest forward so you can see there's this little action happening in the chest. Chest stays pulling forward, so we'll literally lead with the heart here. As you fold forward, use your elbows against the inner thighs to stretch. So you're not necessarily going to create a huge deep forward fold here. We're just breathing into wherever you find sensation in the body, yeah? I'm gonna add in this final flexion, add in the forward fold, round the back, drop the chin toward the chest. You may even catch the back of your head. Your hands and kind of rock the head around a little bit. Swing the torso around side to side. Your hands back towards your feet. And take a moment right here. One of the things that I'm missing a lot about this kind of quarantine and shelter in place is I used to go get reflexology treatments pretty regularly. And as silly as it might sound, just taking a moment to kind of rub your own feet can actually be deeply, deeply soothing. So if you just shifted your perspective off quite a lot, go ahead and give your feet a rub. And find the places where maybe they've been working extra hard for you. Maybe you're taking extra walks these days. Just offering like this connection that we have to the earth, to Mother Earth, this act of love, maybe an act of gratitude. If you haven't switched feet, switch feet. Into the ankles and the inseams and the balls of your feet. Good. Reset the feet. Knees are lifted toward the ceiling. Pull the chest forward once again. Your hands back behind your hips. And take as much or as little of a back bend here as you like. So it might just be something like this. It might also be pressing into your feet. Curl the toes up so you feel into the soles of your feet, lifting the hips high, coming into a reverse table. If it feels good, keep lifting the hips and then drop your head back so the throat once more is open. Stay here, push the earth away as you take one last big breath in, and then open mouth, exhale as you lower your hips down, all the way down. Lie down onto your back, give your knees a little hug into your chest. If you happen to have something nearby, you can make a little kind of support for the back of your neck. You'll hug the knees in, small circles, releasing anything in your lower back or your sacrum in any way that feels good. And winding down with a spinal twist to your arms open, and then drop your hips to the left, or your knees to the left as you shift your hips to the right a little bit. You can look straight up or look out over your right arm. At this point, actually, it's probably nice to just let the eyes close down. And bring the knees back through the center. And a little windshield wiper. Shift your hips left, drop your knees right, look up or look over your left hand. Back to the center. You'll set up in a Shavasana. Try and give yourself a minimum of 2 minutes, even 30 seconds, but don't skip it entirely. So just for as much time as you can muster, as much time as you can handle. And relaxing down onto your back, turning your palms up toward the ceiling, and letting the eyes close down, and then we'll just clear it out, drop in. One more deep breath in, fill all the way up, space in the belly, the heart, maybe even space in the mind here with that inhale, and then open your mouth, exhale. Shavasana. And go ahead and pause the film if you want to take a little longer time here. I encourage you to do that if you have it. Otherwise, stretch your arms out over your head. Point your toes. Big stretch through the body. And then hug your knees one at a time into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And rock over onto either side that feels good. Use your bottom arm as a little pillow. But let it be just this really tender moment right back in with yourself to acknowledge your practice, acknowledge your willingness to take a little pause, to find a little reset. Use your bottom hand to press up to a seat. I think it's important to close practice. If you use yoga as a spiritual practice, and yoga, it is a spiritual practice, if you use it that way, to close it in a way that feels aligned with that intention for you. So it may be just bringing some mindfulness and gratitude in. It may be a moment of prayer. It may be a moment of listening. It may be a moment of insisting on seeking that part of you that is eternally at peace, that is unmesswithable, no matter what's going on in our world or in our lives or in our living rooms. But taking a moment for whatever helps you feel connected. And from that place, hands in Anjali Mudra, this gesture that represents respect, universal respect, that represents an offering to something higher than just ourselves. You fold forward, bowing to yourself, bowing to the universe. Namaste. Gosh, thank you so much for practicing. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. It's really an honor to get to teach. I miss teaching in person. It's a little weird on the camera, but I'm here. I'm here for it. So, love to all of you. Stay healthy. Stay home. I'll see you eventually.